Peace, love, grace, mercy, patience, courage, and blessings be multiplied onto you. In this day and age, disciplining your child is frowned upon. And I say that in this type of way because I'm dumbfounded by it. As the world seemed to spiral into chaos, disciplining your child is frowned upon, which is not biblical, right? The scriptures tell us that, right, in Hebrews 12:6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. Chasten it is to basically give you a spanking, to correct you, right? When you do something wrong, to correct you, give you some form of punishment. That's what happens to those the Lord loves. So, in like manner, if you love your children, you ought to correct and discipline them, chasten them, right? You see here in Proverbs 13:24, he that spared his rod hated his son. Meaning, if you don't discipline your children, you hate them because you sending them out into a world where there's rules, right? Like, if you don't have rules in your house, that doesn't mean the world doesn't have rules. We got laws that we must abide by, or we go into prison. We got codes of conduct that we must abide by, or we end up getting shot. So it's like you need to be teaching your children and disciplining them. I watched a show on TV where they had some people put their 4-year-old away because he was unruly. And I was thinking, what type of 4-year-old is this, right? These people must not be disciplining this young man. And, it's sad to say that later on down the line when the boy became a teenager, he did a despicable act. I mean, went to the mall and took out like 8 people in his teenage years. But he had showed all these signs way before that, right? He was drawing stuff of hurting people, talking of hurting people, threatening people, and people just looked over it. And we living in this world where they got so many people that I meet that say, my parent never did this, they never spanked me, they just did that. And these people steal from their parents. These people had like every shot in the world. I mean, 2-parent homes, parents making 6 figures, and they just didn't excel in life. They didn't measure up or meet the same standard that their parents were at. They didn't make it that far, right? And now failure to thrive, right? Still dependent on their parents and think it's okay to steal from their parents. And it's because of what they talk about. And I'm like, shoot, man. I remember when my mom stopped whipping me. I thought, she wasn't loving me no more because, and reading the scripture, I guess, but she still loved me. But, when you do something wrong, it's wrong and you expect to get corrected for that. And, with the child protective services, the frowned upon, back when I was growing up, you can get a spanking right in the store, and that was just normal behavior, right? Now, people be looking at you, and I remember going in the stores, and my daughters, they would act even more unruly in the store because they know that, like, people tend not to be more as a disciplinarian in public. And so I seen that building up within them, and so we'd be in the line, they start cutting up, and I say, well, look, you and everybody else in the line can get it. You know what I'm saying? If they got something to say about it, you need to stop. And nothing would be happening, but it was just the threat of it. It's like my grandfather. Like, he never spanked me, but he always threatened to spank me. I'd come to his house in the country, and he'd be like, put them britches up, boy, before I spank your butt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the hell, my belly button? What is you talking about? And anyway. So, but he never hit me, but it was always the threat of being there, and like I said, my mom, when I was probably about 11 or 12, I think she gave us one spanking with a bunny slipper, and me and my sister was crying out, faking like we was crying, and she kind of stopped on that. And, I got verbal spankings after that. But the last one I will go into is that Deuteronomy 8:5. As a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee, right? So the Lord chasteneth us because he loves us. It's the same thing you should be doing with your children. Like, don't allow your children to go out into this world thinking that there are no rules to follow. You should have rules within your house. You should have rules for yourself. Somebody telling you ain't no rules, they lying to you. This is nonsense, right? Like, go hop in your car and then just try and do whatever you want to do, right? You're going to jail, right? And that's just driving your car. You know, if you just run a few stop signs and, you know what I'm saying, you're likely to get yourself, you might get away with running the one, but if you just get your ticket and burn rubber, you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? And let alone, you know, you go in the store and start stealing, you know, get yourself fired for lying at work. They got rules in this world. And you are to teach your children to follow rules, or you do them a disservice. Or I know, or it's an and here it is written for you that he that spared his rod hated his son. Correct your children and correct yourself. Peace, love, grace, mercy, patience, courage, and blessings be multiplied unto you.